How would black people survive on this planet if white people didn't exist?
Yeah, that white man decided to ask some silly question. Hey people, how you doing today? It's your Destiny here and welcome back to my channel. So this video, I need you guys to sit down, let's have this conversation. I've not done this type of video for a while now, but I feel like seeing this video, I would just yeah, that's exactly what. So this video is a video of a white man who came on TikTok on the Beyonce internet to talk about what would black people do without white people? That he has never seen a black community that have thrived without white people. I'm more like literally just pushing out the narrative that black people need white people to exist. That without white people, black people cannot strive. You heard that correctly. Anyway, guys, I need you guys to hear what he has to say. Then we'll talk.
How would black people survive on this planet if white people didn't exist? Now, some people might think of this as a joke, but this is actually a very serious question. There is nowhere on this planet an example of a self-sustaining and successful and thriving black community. I mean, let's take Africa for example. The whole world is constantly providing aid and supporting Africa from all over the world, from America, from Europe, from Russia, from China. All these major self-sustaining countries are constantly providing aid and helping Africa survive. Same thing here in America. We have all these programs like Section 8 housing, welfare, food stamps that help out the black community. So it is a real question. How would black people survive and self-sustain if white people did not exist? How would black people survive on this planet if white people didn't exist?
Please let me know your thoughts about this video down in the comment section. Love to know what you think about this. This got people talking, and I feel like even me, I have a lot to say, but I'm just going to calm down. Let's not chill. Let's get other people's thoughts on this, and then I'll come back and share my thoughts.
Survive on this planet if white people didn't exist. Now, some people might.
He ain't for real, is he? I looked at the whole video, which was already stitched or downloaded, by the way, because it's probably taken. But this dude just lacks all critical thinking skills and clearly doesn't know real history.
How would black people survive on this planet if white people didn't exist?
Y'all be coming for us unprovoked, and it's very telling. Y'all boldness and wanting to be a clan member it's coming out. It's coming out like a demonic spirit. Just let it out. Let the clannery flow. But I have some clarifying questions, especially since you said that black people can't survive without white people because of us being on Section 8 and black people in Africa not being able to sustain their own villages, all without white people being able to take care of them. So I have some clarifying questions. Are you saying that black people couldn't survive on their own by building their own homes and infrastructure, kind of like how we built Harvard University and the White House? Are you saying that we couldn't cultivate the land to grow our own food, kind of like how we grew rice, cotton, indigo, tobacco, other vegetables to feed families, including y'all's? We all know what happened to the colonial society of Roanoke when they were left to their own devices, trying to feed themselves, and they just mysteriously died off because they were too lazy to cultivate the land. Moving on. Are you saying that black people wouldn't be able to survive without y'all when it comes to raising our kids? Because I distinctly remember laws being passed in the Carolinas preventing black women from staying home to raise their own children because y'all were too lazy to raise your own children. And so you made it illegal for black women to be stay-at-home mothers. Are you saying that we couldn't intellectually think for ourselves after y'all made anti-literacy laws, making it so that we could lose our lives if we decided to read and write, but we still went on to form our own institutions using the Morrill Land Act of 1890 to build some of the best HBCUs in the country, where we shell out some of the top black doctors in this country? We can go on and on about this, but I'm pretty sure that one thing that we would do so well without some of y'all is minding our own business. because y'all keep coming at us unprovoked. Now, what would you do if we no longer existed? Clearly, you would struggle to mind your own business, and you would have no one to blame for your mediocrity.
It would be the Garden of Eden, with gods and goddesses walking around, if dairy demons, hueless heathens, didn't come in and mess it all up for everybody, including themselves. Like, the dissonance and the clear admission of white supremacy led him to this, and he really thought he ate. Baby, you did nothing.
How would black people survive on this planet if white people didn't exist?
Safely, successfully, without fear, without violence, with plenty of rhythm. I mean, the list could go on. Y'all want me to continue or nah?
How would black people survive on this planet if white people didn't exist?
Okay, tell me you don't know world history without telling me you don't know world history. Right? How would black people survive without white people? Quick history lesson, folks. Homo sapiens sapiens, or what we call modern humans, evolved in Africa over 330,000 years ago. So black Africans have existed for over 330,000 years. Now, what we call Europeans or like white people or palm-colored people, whatever, right? The white part. Not humans existing in Europe, but when they became white, right? Pale skin. Oh, I'm not. I'm light, but I ain't that light. That has only been predominant across Europe. The pale skin has only been predominant across Europe as a phenotype for the past 10,000 years. We're talking a fraction of human history have so-called white people even existed. So for over 300,000 years, white people didn't even exist. And black people did. What did they do then? I wonder. You're the new kids on the block. What are you talking about? Your limited view of history is why you're making such racist and ridiculous, like, prompts and videos. 'Cause it's ridiculous. And very short-sighted. Good day.
How would black people survive on this planet if white people didn't exist?
I think we'll be fine. I think we will do just fine. As a matter of fact, dare I say, we might do even just a little bit better, actually. Yeah. Everybody feels me on that, right? But if the European was to, the white man or European or Caucasian was to just disappear off the face of the earth today, there's a little bit of that Caucasian, that European still in a lot of Africans. All my woke brothers and sisters know what I'm talking about. So yeah, we can get rid of the white man. We can do that. But what about a few brothers and sisters who have that internally? How are we going to deal with them? That's my question. Just a thought, that's all. Just my thoughts.
How would black people survive on this planet if white people didn't exist?
The real question, the actual question, you absolute racist, is how would white people survive without black people? For centuries, white nations, white empires have been colonizing African nations and them, extracting everything they possibly can, from minerals to oil to food, everything. That's number one. Oh, those nations aren't providing aid. They're taking everything they can from African nations. Number two, the United States would not be here as an economy if it wasn't for the slave trade. So just shut up. Just shut up.
This truly might seem like a hot take, but hi, my name is Robin and I'm back to stir the pot. We need a new word for this much. We need a new societally acceptable term for people who are just so anti-intellectual, because there should be no reason that in the year 2023, with our Lord Beyonce, that this is something we're still questioning. Because the level of cognitive dissonance you need to have to get on this app so bold-facedly and to the public just state this with a dead serious face as a genuine question is beyond me mentally. Like, there definitely needs to be like a new term for how much our attention spans and how much disinformation, misinformation, and anti-intellectualism is being pushed in our society, because there's no excuse not when we literally have the internet at our fingertips.
How would black people survive on this planet if white people didn't exist?
Hey y'all, I'm black, and let's talk about it. No, not necessarily him and I, because I quite literally don't give a him or anybody that really looks like him that wants to try to engage in the same way. But let's identify the... He said that this was a very serious question and not a joke. And I agree, it's not a joke. But what I immediately don't agree with is how unserious this question really, really is. You do not have to be a history major to know that there have been dynasties, kingdoms, empires, X, Y, and Z well beyond colonization and any of the damage that envelopians did across the globe. You also don't have to do any deep dives of history to know that Africa has constantly been having its resources stolen from various European countries, whether it be France, actually just Europe, you know. Girl, just Google the Queen's crown, okay? But if we're really gonna sit here and discuss, like, how would this demographic of people go about life without this demographic of people, we have to really be honest, like, be very, very honest. Because who built the country and who required slave labor to build the country? So if you couldn't even do it yourself, I don't know how you're even asking the question of where would we be without you? We would have already built the stuff without all of the violence, because we was doing that shit naturally. Literally, they got their designs and from us. Even when we look at the way welfare and food stamps and these different government assistance programs work, I could have swore it was very easily Googleable. And we had already found out some years ago that the highest demographic in America that uses these were envelopians. So where would you be without our help? Because y'all also wouldn't have had that if it wasn't for the Black Panthers. And every Black History Month, I encourage not only Black folks, because, I mean, that's already for us, but it's very easy also and very Googleable to look up inventions from Black people, things that y'all use, that we use in our day-to-day lives, whether it be controlling traffic, keeping your food cold, being able to know where we're going via GPS, computers. Every time you go to space, like, you have to thank Black women and Black men and for quite literally damn near everything in this country. So to sit there and say, where will we be? We would quite literally be far more advanced than we are now, because we would have had nobody disrupting the flow. And with that said, I hope everybody who sees my stitch and saw his video draws back the energy that they were about to give to that man, because that's all he wanted to use it for, was for engagements, comments, and to have people argue so he can skyrocket himself to the next America's top ignorant envelopian.
How would black people survive on this planet if white people didn't exist? Now, some people might think of this as a joke, but this is actually a very serious question.
The truth is, you will always point your finger at black people because that's what you do. That's what white supremacists do. And you, sir, are a diehard white supremacist. You will always be pointing your finger at black folks, and you will never point your finger at white people. You will never point your finger and acknowledge what we've done in the most serious way without a big fat deflection, without a big fat denial, without a big fat butt in it. You need white supremacy because that's your crutch. So the difference between white people and black people is you, sir, and your people, my people, white people, are morally inferior race because we continue to support, uplift, and enable white supremacy. That's our crutch, and that's why we're inferior morally. And that's why you will never, ever acknowledge all that the white man has done to black people today and yesterday. Absolutely no question about it. The black people all black people would be thriving if it were not for the white man. The white man has stolen every single resource out of Africa, including people. Human trafficking, enslavement, colonialization. They have robbed that continent of every single resource imaginable. Absolutely. If white people did not exist, all black people would be thriving. That goes without question, as would all indigenous people and most brown people too. It was the white man's greed. It was the white man's genocide, the white man's enslavement, and the white man's colonialization fucked this world up. And that's one thing that white people have never understood, was because of the damage the white man caused. Remember this, the white people, white man, has always been disagreeable in times of peace.
Please go down in the comment section and share your thought about this video down in the comment section. Feel free to share your opinion, but please, please, please keep it respectfully. You don't have to disrespect anybody for you to air your opinion, but please keep it respectfully, okay? All right, so, Whew. Okay. First off, like, I feel like there are really some white people, and to feel like this is 2023 and yet there's still some white people that believes that they are like black people's savior. And one thing I want to point out is that this is one of the reasons when I have some conversation, I always tell people that you see these white people, whether you're from Africa, whether you're in America, whether you're in the Caribbean, whether you're in Europe and you're black, they see all of us as one. This video just proves it. But to think that there are some white people that really thinks that they came to save black people, and that without them black people will not strive, that without them Africa will not strive, the motherland will not strive, like, it still blows my mind. Like, this is 2023. There is Google. There's a whole lot of information out there for you to get yourself educated. And to think that you think that Africans will not, Africa as a whole will not strive, and yet the Europeans, the whites can't take their hands off Africa. They don't want to leave us alone. They come to steal our resources. Who built America? Like, who built America? Who? I don't like, and this is where I feel like when I see videos like this, like, it really just boils my blood that I just want to, like, really. And I believe that there are some white people that really, really believe this. They believe that, oh, they're sending help to Africa. The same system they created. If Africa refuses and say, okay, no, they were going to take themselves out of the equation, you guys, your leaders, the white leaders, will sanction them because they know they need Africa. A couple of months ago, French government was everywhere in Africa, literally pleading. Or is it the Vice President of America was in Ghana, was in Africa, literally trying to solicit, because we don't need the Europeans. We don't need white people as black people. They need us. Alright, so what makes you think that they came to Africa to take slaves from Africa to America? They can't even work. Look at what happened the other time in Florida a few months ago, where they said that, oh, Mexicans are taking their land and Mexicans choose to boycott the working system, the construction system. We saw what happened to Florida. And you're still talking about white people. Like, come on, like, I'm just going to end here, okay? Please go down in the comment section, share your thought down in the comment section, because I feel a lot of people have said some of the things I want to say, but I'm just going to cool off here. But go down in the comment section and share your thought. Love to know what you think about this video, so feel free to share your opinion, but please, please, please keep it respectful. Please share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have amazing conversation. So go down in the comment section and share this video, okay? Please give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because that helps YouTube to push out my content, and that will be you supporting your girl. You can join the membership or do a thank you, whatever way you want to support the channel. Watch the ad in this video. Please That's way supporting your girl. Okay, with that all said, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces.